Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about cars that I find impossible to buy on the Irish market, be it coming in as trade-ins or whether we're buying directly. There's some cars that just, I think in people's head, they think they're worth an absolute fortune and they're very difficult to agree deals on. So I'm going to talk, I think there's about 6 or 7 cars I'd like to highlight in this video. Some of them are very common cars, some are ones you mightn't have thought of. But there are certain cars that people think they have literally gold bars driving around the place. They value them so much. So let's get started. The first one, and a very common one on the Irish road, is a diesel Volkswagen Golf. I did a TikTok about this probably last year and it got a couple of 100,000 views. I think a lot of people relate to it. A diesel Golf, lads, these are the most overpriced cars for trade-ins or for people when people are looking to sell, I think possibly on the market. So often people are trying to sell us maybe a 2015 or 16 diesel Golf and they want us to give them 14,000 euro for it. When we advertise, let's say a 15 or 16 Golf for 13 or 14 grand, people are always saying, God, these are way overpriced. Honestly, lads, people want that and more when they're looking to sell them. Diesel Golfs are just mental. People's expectations are just so high. The next one up is diesel G23 series. Lads, wow. There's 2019 ones of these up on Dundee for 33 to 35 grand on a private market. They are always up for above retail. Now these are beautiful cars, but at the end of the day, they are 3 Series. We bring in some of ours from Japan. The very odd one we can buy in Ireland, but like the difference between what people's expectations are versus the retail price in these is really pushing the retail price of these up. They're popular cars, they do look to business and they're expensive enough to import due to the cost of the VRT. But these are cars that, yeah, very expensive on the private market. The next one up is Golf Rs. Now, Golf Rs are expensive cars anyway, but they're very difficult to get in as trade-ins off people and they're also very difficult to buy direct. Would you believe a lot of garages don't actually want to stock Golf Rs, and we're kind of nearly veering towards that direction ourselves. We do sell the odd one and we do take them in as trade-ins, but in an ideal world, I would like to trade them off more than we can. The reason for this is when they can go wrong, they can go very wrong, and due to the way some customers drive them and the way I suppose they can be kind of driven fast, they're a performance car, they can cause warranty bother and they can have quite high prep costs as well. So you're going to need a pretty big margin on a Golf R in order to cover yourself. Like on a normal Golf, you might want a 4 or 5 grand margin. So let's say, for example, if you're buying for 20, you might sell for 24, 25. I honestly think on a Golf R, you're going to need 7 or 8 grand of a margin. By the time you factor in your prep, your VAT, and your bigger warranty risk, that's what you're going to need. But like trying to explain that to someone, here, listen, I know they're making 32 grand online in dealers, but I'm going to give you 25 for it. Customers want retail money and above. And also with Golf Rs, some people do like performance upgrades on them, which is all well and good, but you don't get that money back when you're going to trade it in. You just don't. You might have spent 5, 6, 8 grand on the car, but you're not going to get 5 or 6 or 8 grand more as a trade-in. So I try not to sell a huge amount of them anymore, but they're very difficult to get in as trade-ins as well. Now, the next one, completely different type of vehicle, and this is a car we never actually, I don't know if we ever got one in as a trade-in, or we certainly don't buy them anyway. Toyota Land Cruisers. Lads, I know these are massively popular, especially with farmers, especially with some tradesmen and all that. But the money these go for and the money people expect for these when they're selling them or go for trade-ins are wild. We had one recently where a customer, we got, I think it was 35 grand we got for a 2016 one in the trade, and the customer wanted 45. And we thought 35 grand was a wild price for a 9-year-old Land Cruiser. And no, wanted 45, even though they were retailing at around 40 at the time. Also with Land Cruisers and vans in general and kind of commercial vehicles like that, they're generally quite worn, right? And lads don't maintain them that well and they might have a bit of bodywork on them. They'd always need a bit of work, but customers want absolute retail money for them. They're a popular Jeep, don't get me wrong, but God above, trying to buy them I find is very difficult. The next one is G35 series, in particular, and I don't know why this is the case, in particular 2017 ones. 2017 ones, we try not to stock too many of them anymore for a few reasons, but that is the first of the new model one. Now, G25 series, if anyone follows my stuff before, you know I absolutely love them. They are my pick of the bunch of a car in the 25, 30, 35 grand price range. They do everything so well. They look the part, they're reliable, they're great cars. But 2017 ones, and I don't know why, when people are trying to sell them, like they always want absolutely wild money for them. 2017 ones would be up on Dundee often for 27, 28 grand. I think a 2017 one is retail about 25 at the moment. Lads want 27, 28 grand on the private market for these cars. It's much easier to buy 2018 and 19 ones. Whatever it is about 17 months, very difficult to buy. And as well as that, a 2017 5 Series, as you can imagine yourself, an 8-year-old 5 Series, it's going to need a bit of work. I would say average prep costs on a 17 5 Series would definitely be €1,500 on these cars at the moment. So you're going to have higher prep costs, you're going to need a bigger margin, but it's absolutely impossible to buy these and get a big margin most of the time. Next one is Tiguan R-Line automatics. Now Tiguans are popular sellers, but when you combine R-Line automatic and diesel and handy mileage, they are like gold dust, right? Everyone wants a Tiguan R-Line diesel automatic. Everyone wants them. And then I suppose the flip side to that is when people are selling them, and rightly so because people know they're popular, when people are selling them then they want absolutely huge money. We've had someone recently wanted, was it a 2018 one, and they wanted 34 grand. Like if you think about it, for a 7-year-old Tiguan on the private market, they want 34 grand. Like even when we retail them at 30 grand, I still think that, God, they're a bit expensive for what they are. But the money people want for them is absolutely wild. Cool cars, I do think they're definitely overpriced though. Next one is kitted BMW 3 Series, the older F30 model. When we see a car that's already been modified, let's say, you know, a 2015 3 Series M Sport, manual or auto, wouldn't really matter, but if they have the little M Performance stickers on them, maybe they've been lowered already, and maybe they've been owned by a lad who's 21, 22 years of age. Again, we've seen this so many times before. When they want those cars, even if they have big mileage on them, they want absolutely wild money. I find a 2015, we've had recently a 2015 3 Series M Sport, and the customer wanted 20 grand for it, and had 200,000 kilometers on it. Like, you know, absolutely wild money. They're expensive cars at the best of time, but the money people want on the private market and the money people want trade-ins is just so far apart from what we can offer a lot of the time. And the final one, and it's just a generalization, it could be any car. It's a car that someone has just bought from a dealer. So if you see someone that's looking to sell their car, they bought it from a dealer 3 months ago, they are very, very difficult cars to buy in general for people like us. And the reason being is, the obvious reason is, people want pretty much what they paid for it, and I totally get why you would want that, but from our point of view, that wouldn't work. It doesn't matter whether you have your car 2 months or 2 years, the trade price of a 2019 5 Series is the trade price of a 2019 5 Series. We're still need to go and make our margin, we're still need to go and prep the car, put warranty on it, pay VAT on it, the whole thing. It's very difficult. Look, if you have a car and you're looking to sell it then 2 months later to a dealer, for example, unfortunately, that is your fault for buying it in the first place, and that is, unfortunately, you're going to have to take the hit on it. Cars aren't meant to be sold or traded in so soon after buying them, they're just not. So sometimes if you have to sell your car for whatever reason after such a short period of time, that unfortunately you're going to have to take the hit for that, as that was a mistake on your end. You probably shouldn't have bought the car in the first place. But anyway, that is just my general guide of cars that I think are very difficult to buy. People often ask me that question, and they often wonder what cars are easy to get, what cars are hard to get. And that's just based on my experience over the last 12, 13 years in the motor trade. If anyone can think of any other cars in particular, please comment below, and I hope you enjoyed the video.